Between April 1971 and September 1972, 6 young black girls were snatched off the streets in Washington, D.C.
The homicide detectives termed the cases the little girl cases.
Haunting cases went cold in D.C. even after police linked them to one killer. And if you've been around a long time, you might remember when it happened. But it was 50 years ago. Now a new profile of the killer is being exposed on the new podcast, Freeway Phantom. But joining me now is the host, Celeste Headley. Good to see you, Celeste. Good morning.
Nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right, so question number one. You had a long history in journalism, right? In radio and public radio. Why this particular topic? What is it that drew your attention to this?
I mean, first of all, it's an unsolved serial killer case, which is always of interest, wondering why it is still unsolved. The other thing is that many of the things that complicated the investigation into this case 50 years ago are still relevant today when it comes to things like how communities of color are investigated by law enforcement, the amount of trust between a community and law enforcement. Many of those same issues still plague our neighborhoods.
All right, before we get into any potential suspect news, we have some viewers that will remember this when it happened, but you have to go back a long way. So give us a real brief synopsis of when this happened, what time period, what similarities between the victims that led people to believe this was a serial killer.
So this is the very early 70s, 71, and there were 6 young girls, all, I mean, between the ages of like 12 and I think 17 was the oldest one. No, 18, excuse me. That all happened over the course of like a year or so. And it was all in the basic same neighborhood. The reason they were dubbed the Freeway Phantom by media at the time was because he would kill these girls and then he would leave their bodies on the side of the road of the DC freeways.
So there have been suspects over the years and over the decades. There have been there have been questions. There have been people who had even been charged. Do you think that the person who did it was one of those, or is that part of the mystery?
You know, the main suspect was a man named Robert Askin, although there were several at the time. They even suspected a local gang. I'm not convinced that Robert Askins was the killer. We did get a brand new profile, the first scientific modern profile done of the killer, and it doesn't quite correlate with the suspects that the police had and who interviewed and had in their sights. So I think we're still looking for someone else. You
know, it's fascinating. And first of all, Robert Askins, who you just mentioned, he died in prison, but he lived to be like 90 or 91 years old, served his time in Maryland. This is one of the things I think that we love about true crime, right, is because we all get a chance to play detective, see if the pieces come together. What fascinated you throughout the process of putting this together?
You know, there are so many fascinating aspects to this. First of all, we're talking about a time in our history when the serial killer wasn't even a phrase that we used. We knew very little about these type of killers. They called them pattern killers at the time. So number one, there's the advancement of the science of tracking down this particular kind of killer. You know, the other thing is that somebody out there knows something. As you said, there may be people watching your program right now that remember this. There may be people who lived in the neighborhood. Somebody knows something. And there's quite a large reward available if somebody wants to step forward and bring these families some justice and perhaps a little closure.
You know, it's one thing if we do a true crime story on something that happened 10 years ago, but when you go back half a century, is it difficult to find people who still might have been aware of it at the time that could actually potentially solve the case? Oh, I think we lost you, Celeste. Are you there now? Can you hear us?
I'm okay. Here. I can hear you.
Sorry, we didn't get your answer. Is it tough to find people that, you know, from 50-some years ago that might still be able to be aware of the case?
Well, you know what? Honestly, it's difficult, but it's not impossible. There are actually quite a number of people that this made a big impression on those neighborhoods at the time, and they still have pretty sharp memories of it.
No doubt about it. All right, for folks in D.C. who are watching who might remember or at least heard stories this happened in our neighborhood or our community, where do we find the podcast?
You can find it anywhere you find your podcast. It premieres tomorrow on the 17th with the first 2 episodes, and then it'll come out every Wednesday for 10 episodes.
All right, Celeste Headley is the host of the Freeway Phantom podcast. Thanks, Celeste. Good talking to you this morning.
Thank you. You too.